I've worked overnight security for nearly 9 years. Most of the time, it's just boring. An empty warehouse, long hallways, and monitors showing nothing but darkness and dust floating through the air. I always liked it that way. Quiet meant safe. But last winter, something changed. It started on a Tuesday night, the kind where the wind sounds like it's whispering against the windows. I clocked in, grabbed my coffee, and sat down in front of the camera feed. 12 screens, each showing still, empty spaces. Everything looked normal. Around 2:50 a.m., I was leaning back in my chair, half listening to the hum of the old fluorescent lights. That's when I noticed movement on camera 6. At first, I thought it was just a glitch. The lights in that hallway flickered, and something shifted into view. A tall figure stepped forward from the far end of the corridor. He wasn't walking, he just appeared, as if each flicker of light brought him several feet closer. I leaned forward, suddenly wide awake. The man wore a long, dark coat, the kind that looked old and heavy. His posture was strange, rigid, and unnatural. He never looked around or moved his head. He only stared directly at the camera. I pressed the intercom button. "Sir, this is a restricted building. You can't be in here." Nothing. The figure didn't react. I zoomed the camera in. That's when I realized something was incredibly wrong. His face wasn't blurry because of low-resolution nit, was blurry because it never stayed the same. His features shifted, like static, trying to form an image. Sometimes it looked like a man, sometimes like something stretched and wrong. My stomach tightened. I stood up and checked the entry logs. No doors had opened. No alarms had been triggered. No motion sensors tripped. Yet there he was, still standing, exactly where the camera pointed. I radioed building control, even though I knew no one would answer this late. My voice shook anyway. Possible intruder, requesting backup. Silence. When I looked back at the screens, my blood ran cold. Camera 8, he was there. Camera 10 also there. Camera 1 closer. And on camera 6, he was still standing. I blinked hard. Every single screen now showed him in a different part of the building. 12 identical figures. 12 sets of eyes staring right at me. But the hallway outside my office remained empty. I don't remember sitting back down, but I did. My hands were shaking so badly I nearly dropped my flashlight. My heartbeat thudded in my ears. I tried to calm myself down. "It's just a malfunction," I whispered. "This system is outdated, just a glitch." But then, the soft click of a door echoed through the hallway, not from the monitors, from right behind me. I froze. Slowly, the motion sensor light outside my office flickered on one of those cheap lights that take a second to fully brighten. Its glow spilled under the bottom of the door, stretching a shadow across the floor. A shadow shaped just like him. My chest tightened. I grabbed the doorknob and held it, instinctively, even though the door was already locked. I pressed my ear against the cold metal. No breathing, no footsteps, just waiting. I stared at the monitors again, hoping, praying the cameras would show nothing. But now, every screen showed something new. Not hallways, not rooms, not the building. They showed me, sitting right there, frozen in my chair. On each monitor, the figure stood behind me, closer on every screen than the last. One screen showed him just inches from my neck. My throat tightened, my breath shaking. I forced my hand toward the emergency reboot switch. Maybe restarting it would fix it. Maybe I'd wake up from this nightmare. Before I could press it, all the monitors flickered to black. Then a message appeared across all 12 screens in bright red letters. Don't turn around. My body refused to move. My muscles locked so tight my fingers went numb. I don't know how long I sat there, minutes, maybe hours. Eventually, the motion light outside my door clicked off. Then the power returned. The cameras showed nothing but empty halls again. No figure, no movement, no message. The building was completely silent. When the morning staff finally arrived at 6, I walked past them without saying a single word. I quit that day. Since then, every now and then, my phone glitches for a split second, just long enough for the screen to show that familiar grainy hallway camera view. And sometimes, just sometimes, a tall, motionless figure is standing there, staring, waiting. So, if you're listening to this right now, don't look behind you. Some things follow attention. Some things notice when you notice them. Thanks for watching. If you have a story you'd like to share, let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more. Sometimes, late at night, something calls your name. Not because it knows you, but because it wants you. And once you answer, it never stops. I used to work overnight security at a small logistics warehouse just outside my town. It wasn't a big place, just a loading dock, a few offices, and storage rooms filled with inventory. My shift ran from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m., and most nights were painfully quiet. No trucks, no workers, just me and the hum of fluorescent lights. The building always felt off, like someone had just left moments before I walked in, even when I knew I was the only one scheduled. At first, I brushed it off as the usual night shift paranoia. The brain does strange things in the dark. But then one night, something happened that I still can't explain. I was halfway through my shift, doing a routine walkthrough. The halls were silent, except for the buzz of lights and the echo of my own footsteps. I made my way toward the old break room. Nobody used it anymore, since a newer one was installed near the entrance. As I reached the doorway, the motion sensor light flicked on. That wasn't unusual. Those lights were sensitive. But what was unusual was the chair. It was pulled out from the table, not pushed in like it always was. I froze. I had walked by earlier in the night and knew that chair had been tucked neatly under the table. I told myself maybe someone forgot to push it in earlier. Still, I gently nudged it back into place. A chill ran down my spine. I continued my rounds and eventually returned to the security office and sat down. 30 minutes passed uneventfully, and I tried distracting myself with my phone. Then I heard it. A voice, soft, close. Hey, I jerked upright. At first, I thought it was the radio. The handheld walkie-talkie sometimes picked up interference from truck drivers on the highway. But the radio was silent. Then, clearer this time. Hey, it sounded like a whisper right behind me. I spun around so fast, my chair nearly tipped. No one was there. The hair on my arms stood up, and my chest tightened. I tried to laugh it off. Lack of sleep, imagination. But then, I heard my name, not shouted, not spoken normally, whispered, slow, careful, almost testing. Alex. My entire body went cold. I stood up, grabbed my flashlight, and scanned the office. Nobody. I checked the hallway, nothing but empty shadows. Trying to keep my breathing steady, I went back to the monitors. One screen caught my ether feed from the old break room camera, the chair. It was pulled out again, only this time, it was facing the camera. I didn't move for almost a full minute. Finally, I forced myself to walk back there. My footsteps echoed unnaturally loud, and the motion light flicked on before I reached the doorway. The chair was still in the same position, turned toward the door. Toward me. I walked slowly, one hand clutching my flashlight, the other gripping my radio. That's when I heard it again, but this time it wasn't close. It was everywhere. My name whispered over and over, like dozens of voices overlapping each other. Alex, Alex, Alex. My vision blurred from panic. My body felt frozen and burning at the same time. The voices suddenly stopped. A heavy silence settled around me, and then something else broke through. Not a whisper, a growl, low, deep, almost angry. Answer me. I dropped the flashlight. I ran. I didn't finish my shift.